Hey, Mike, it's me, and in today's video, I'm continuing my look at the Golden Age, the best Doctor Who, classic Doctor Who, with the third and fourth Doctors. And today's story is a third Doctor story. It is The Claws of Axos from 1971. This is season 8. It is the third story in season 8. 4 episodes. It was transmitted on the 13th of March to the 3rd of April 1971. Previously, we had The Mind of Evil, and we've got next Colony in Space. So, great stories. They also now feature the Master. Yes, the Master is very much part of all this. Okay, so we've got this is written by 2 writers, Bob Baker and Dave Martin. They were a great combination. Stories like The Mutants from 1972, The 3 Doctors, 1972-73, Sontaran Experiment, 1975, The Hand of Fear, 1976, The Invisible Enemy, 1977, Underworld, 1978, The Armageddon Factor, 1979, and Nightmare of Eden from 1979. Wow, what a lot of stories. Yeah, so they go right into the 4th Doctor. Yeah, right into his area. And wow, fantastic. Great, what can I say? Just the writing is great, especially as, what they have to do and adapt, to the schedules about what the story should be, whether it should be a 4-parter or a 6-parter. All that is brilliant with this script. So as usual, we've got script editor Terence Dix and producer Barry Letts, and they're just totally into all this now. They know exactly what they're doing, and it's working well. Ratings are good. Doctor Who is really on the map now. Wonderful stuff. And it's also directed by Michael Ferguson. He directed The War Machine, 1966, which is a William Hartnell story. He directed The Seeds of Death, 1969, which was in the 3rd and final season of the 2nd Doctor. That's the Ice Warriors story. The Ambassadors of Death, remember that? John Pertwee, first season of his, 1970. And also, this was the last story he did for Doctor Who. He then went on in terms of television to do a lot, particularly on EastEnders, which is a massive BBC One program, and then went on to ITV, did a lot of stuff over there. A major talent he was, really was. And that's it in terms of the background people and directors, etc., involved in this. Now, it was, as I said, originally envisaged as a 6-parter, but for various reasons with the production, it became a 4-parter. And its location is in Dungeness Power Station. They used that. They also used St. Martin's Camp in Folkestone again. Brilliant. When they were filming it as well, there was freak weather. Yes. So you see that in the film. You get these freak weather conditions. You get the snow, you get the rain and the sunshine. But in a way, it all helps. And they put that into the script, saying about the freak weather. Yes. And as usual, the music is by Dudley Simpson. Dudley Simpson, wow, he goes a bit wild on this with those soundtrack, I'll tell you. Excellent. Then we've got, of course, we'll go through the cast. We've got John Pertwee as the Third Doctor. We've got Kate Manning as Jo Grant. Katie Manning is fantastic. Oh, yes. And then we've got Nicholas Courtney. Well, this is a great team, isn't it? As the Brigadier. We've got Richard Franklin as Captain Mike Yates. We've got John Levine as Sergeant Benton. And, of course, Roger Delgado as the Master. Brilliant, isn't he? Absolutely. The Master, the best. And we've got Ferdinand Marlowe as Corporal Bell. And then, let's have a look at the other cast members. We've got Peter Bathurst as Chin. What a character he is. Yes. He was a career going right back, 1951. He was in the TV adaptation of the Quatermass Experiment, 1953. Wow. Doctor Who, he's got a history. He was in The Power of the Daleks, 1966. The first story from the Second Doctor. Yes, he was in that. Lots of TV, theatre work he was. Massive career. Then we've got Paul Grist playing Bill Filer. Notable films that he was in were Under Milkwood, 1972. That's the Taylor Burton, Dylan Thomas adaptation. And Are You Being Served, 1977. Yes, he was in that. And then it's just the same TV work and theatre, all that. Then we've got Donald Hewitt playing George Hardman. And, well, George Hardman, he is one of these characters that is a typical Doctor when you recognise his face and you're thinking, now, where have I seen him from? Well, he was in Carry On Behind, 1975, and most famously, he was in It Ain't Our Fault Mum. Yes, Ain't Our Fault Mum was a massive series between 1974 and 1981. We played Lieutenant Colonel Reynolds. He also was in You Rang Me Lord from 1988 to 1993. Again, these were staple British comedy series that ran, and he's just somebody who pops up and you can recognise him straight away. But in those, he has major roles. Then we've got Tim Pigott-Smith playing Captain Harler. He was in The Mask of Mandragora, or Mandragora. I always get it wrong. It's 1976. Beautifully shot Tom Baker story, Fourth Doctor story, that great story. And filmed at Port Merion. Yes, The Prisoner and all that stuff. Yes. Anyhow, that's what they did. They'd filmed that. Great story. Anyhow, he was in some interesting feature films. He was in Clash of the Titans, 1981, V for Vendetta, 2005. He was in the Bond film, Quantum of Solace, 2008. And Jupiter Ascending, 2015. These were just films that just stood out. And then we've got somebody who plays one of the Axons, Bernard Holly. The director knew him well, but he's all covered up in this. But he was in The Tomb of the Cyberman from 1967, which is one of the great Patrick Troughton stories. Fantastic story, that. It really is. So let me just talk about the story, what it is about. Well, it starts where we get this mysterious spacecraft arriving. And of course, at first it's seen as hostile by this, ridiculous civil servant, minister, representative, Chin, and who fires rockets, and then they have to stop the firing of the rockets. And it all turns out that this ship that has landed, it's quite a strange kind of ship as well, the way it looks. When it all comes out, there's some gold-skinned aliens called Axons who offer this axonoid to the world as a gift because they want to exchange so that they can get energy and get back and wherever from that. But they offer this as a gift anyhow. And it can change matter. And then they see this as potentially being able to solve some of the world's problems, like hunger and that, and a worldwide problem. At first, of course, Chin is, oh no, it's British, we've got to have this and that. No, you can't. You can't do it. It's got to be worldwide. And there's a great scenes with the Doctor. The Doctor doesn't like all these people who are just bureaucrats, who are just self-seeking. He sees right through him, pompous, idiotic, and the Doctor hasn't got time. He's brilliant. Absolutely. The scenes with Chin is just great. The Doctor just won't stand for nonsense at all. Great. What John Pertwee is fantastic. Well, he's very suspicious of the Axons, and quite rightly so, because as we see the story develop, the American agent who's here, he ends up getting captured and put inside this Axon ship, and inside we see, yes, you knew it was going to come, the Master is in there, and he's been up to his old tricks again with the Axons, and his TARDIS is in there as well. But he's going to need the Doctor's help. But the Doctor is suspicious, and the story unfolds in the way that you would expect. But the Axons actually don't look like they appear at all, and their motives are very different. And they're basically, as usual, they threaten the world and lots of life and everything, like aliens do in these stories. But yes, it's a great story. And as I say, the wonderful filming and location work is beautifully done. I say the direction is good, and they on the extras in the documentaries, the director interview is interesting because he does talk about what he has to do with the camera and these early crude special effects, which at the time we were amazed at them, and nowadays people sort of are always laughing, but no, they were good, and I think we should look at that as well. There was problems in terms of the archive with this story as well on restoration, because some of the surviving stories were on the American I forgot what it's called, NTC or something like that. It's different from our kind of filmmaking, and they had to put all these together, and it's all technical stuff, which I have no idea, but it's important in the restoration, and they had to do a lot of restoration about this story. This story works well. It's very enjoyable. As usual, you just sit there and 4 episodes just sail by. Don't be put off by people who are going to say, look at it. In terms of Doctor Who history, it is, I think, a lot of fans like it. Some of the critics haven't been quite as kind to it. Again, they've been, as usual. But, compared with some of the stuff that we get nowadays, this is high-class stuff for Doctor Who. This is brilliant. You can't really compare modern Doctor Who with this, because this stuff is just way so much better and got so much heart in it. It's wonderful stuff. I love it. There was a VHS release, which I remember, that came out in 1992. A special edition came out in DVD in 2012. And then, of course, we've got the Blu-ray release with the Doctor Who collection, which I'll just show you in a minute. First, I'll just show you this. This is the release. Always great. All the extras on there. There it is. This is brilliant. It's got the little leaflet with more details on. Great. Fantastic. Nice extras. And then, of course, they've really updated everything with this. This is the Doctor Who collection, season 8. Wow, if you haven't got this, Blu-ray, lots of extras on here, and they've really restored it well, and they've added some more to episode 1, which you have the option of some extended scenes, which is great, and it's the best you're ever going to see it, definitely, on this. So if you can get a Blu-ray of this, get it. Yeah, I don't know whether it's come out on the standard edition yet of this. May not have done. Anyhow, I think that's it. I hope you've enjoyed my look at the brilliant Third Doctor. Yes, it's wonderful. Absolutely love it. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, and we'll let you know when I produce these videos. If you look in the playlist, you'll see all my previous reviews of Doctor Who, and also look at all the other things I do on the channel. Hopefully you might enjoy them, you might not. And if you like this video, give it a like, because then it helps get it out into YouTube and the algorithms, and other people might then like the stories, although perhaps they won't. And if you've got any comments, please put your comments down. I love to read your comments. And they all cost notes, and you can't say fairer than that, can they? But back you can't. Here, back you can't. And that's it. Yes, that's it. So all I gotta say is, I'll see thee again.